Hey y'all, what's going on today? Excuse me. Um, I got a little video. I'm gonna throw all kind of things here at you today. Um, Mostly a bunch of tips. Um, More like don't do what I did. Um, I've been doing this modifications for probably close to 20 years, maybe even a little bit more than that. I've been building models since I was a teenager. Um, and even to this day, I make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect in this. So, the biggest thing I can say is when you're building these trucks, you want to go slow. You want to be easy. You want to be gentle. You want to think about what you're doing before you do it. Um, Dry fit parts as much as possible. Um, Watch your glue. Be careful with your glue because the glue that I use, I really like it. It does a very, very good job. I'm very happy with it. But you have to be careful with it because you get this on the paint of a vehicle and it's screwed. You're never getting it back off, and you've basically ruined that truck. Take for example the Chevy cab. I had glue on my fingers when I was gluing the chassis together, and I slid my finger up the side of the door, and well, I ruined that paint job. So you can't build and especially attempt to sell a truck like this. So I'm still going to be able to use this truck. I'm probably just going to have to do something to get rid of that glue, and I'll have to come up with a good thing to put in that spot to cover that up. These doors don't come off. It would have been perfect if the doors opened. Then I could have just changed the door out with a different truck that I already have. I thought I only had one of those trucks, but as I went digging, I found I have another one that I must have already stole the chassis off of it. So I've got another one of these trucks I'm going to build something with. I just don't know what yet. But yeah, you got to be careful. Where do I start here? Let's say, for example, this truck here that I just built, that I was very, very happy with it. I mean, look at it. It looks good. It's sweet. Had a glue incident. So I got glue on the roof, and then I had to sand the roof down, and then I painted it. I didn't paint it with a rattle can like I should have. I brush painted it because I didn't want to get any paint on anything else. So I've ruined the cab of this truck. The wheels don't really roll that good. They still roll, but they're just not perfect. This was also my first time at making my own axles. Usually I find an axle that I can use, but I'm running out of those. So I bought some brass stock to use as axles, and it works great. Don't get me wrong. But it's a little tight. It's just a I don't know, millimeter thicker than what the axles we normally use are. So it drags a little bit in there, which is not a big deal. It'll work. Um, and as I was drilling, I had to drill out my hubs because um, the wire was just a little bit thicker than the original axle. There's the wire. I'm probably never ever going to get that to zoom in. That's probably not the best end to use. I've already cut both ends of it already, so you can't really tell the dimensions. I believe it said it was 1/16 in diameter. But like I said, it worked good. I got my wheels on and everything. They don't roll the greatest, and the way I drilled them out is I just took a drill bit that's the same size as that axle, and I clamped it into a pair of channel locks. Or I'm sorry, vice grips. I have a very, very small pair that I use for my hobby stuff. I just clamped it in here and then just spun the tire on the drill bit. You got to be careful with that too, because again, like I said, don't do what I did. I went all the way through the wheel. Can you see the brass in the center there? I went through the hub, and now the post sticks through. So as you can tell, I've had a rough time building this truck, even though from a distance it looks really good. Till you look at the top, then you look at the shaft in the side and in the wheel there. And then, can you tell I ran out of Chevy mirrors? Well, I have a couple left, but I didn't want to put them on this truck. So these are actually Dodge mirrors on this truck. No, they don't look great, but that's what I had. So this truck, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with. I don't know if anybody would be willing to pay for this truck or not, just because of all the screw ups that I did on it. But I'm being honest. I won't lie to you. This is not one of my better builds. Even though I really had hopes for this truck, it really looked good. It still looks good. It's just I did a crappy job on the build. You got to watch those, you know. And in this one, I didn't expect this one to come out very well because I used that cab, and that cab's not the greatest. But it was close to matching that color. It was my first one, and I just wanted to see how well it would turn out. So that's why I used this setup. But it's okay. It's just kind of generic. I wasted a good set of Chevy mirrors on it that I shouldn't have, but I did. I left the hitch on there, which I don't like that. I think that's one of the ugliest things that they ever put on these trucks. They really need to come up with a better idea for this. But I left it on there. On all the other ones, you can see I popped it off. You can still see where it was glued on. I did a little bit of light sanding around the hole on this one, but as you can see, it's still there. I built a Ford one, and that Ford one was really liked because it's already sold. I've already shipped it. And then this one here I just sold yesterday morning, so it's getting shipped out. If any of you guys are buying my trucks and you're my viewers, why don't you let me know in the comments that you bought something, or send me a message on eBay stating that you're a viewer. Maybe we can come up with something that we can come up with a little discount for the viewers. I don't know. But anyway, every one of these trucks that are sitting here, well, with the exception for this one, that one's already sold, but all the rest of these are sitting on eBay and they're available for sale right now. I just pulled them out because I was dusting them off and cleaning them, and I set them up here. I thought they looked good, so I thought we'd do a background video. So here is my newest dually that I just got in a few days ago. Actually, about 2 days ago. You see I've already jacked it up, put it on some M2 tires. Still a dually. I actually had to use some new shafts in those wheels because how wide this ended up being. You can see I painted the chassis. I don't know why they send them. Anybody's got one of these, you'll know that they're not painted. Let's see, I don't think this one, that one's painted. See, I don't understand that. Well, that one's plastic too. This one's got a plastic chassis on it. But this one has a die-cast chassis on it, so it got painted. I bought these back racks, some other stuff from a guy on YouTube, or I'm sorry, not YouTube, eBay. I think his name was 802 Customs. Made really nice back racks, and they fit the Fords perfectly. So I got that on there. I slipped a toolbox in there, jacked her up. I'm going to widen this front a little bit. You see the front tires don't stick out past the fenders. Like if you look at the backs, they both protrude a little bit. So I'm going to make a longer axle for that front so the front tires protrude just a little bit. And I think that'll look pretty slick. Another thing I've decided against, I was going to take one of my C60 cabs and put it on this truck. Well, last night I was scrolling through eBay looking for something new to buy, and I found that exact same truck with a C60 cab on it. So that's been scratched now since it's available and you can buy it. I only like to build stuff you can't get. So you can get that truck with that cab, so there's no sense in even fooling with that. But anyway, guys, that's just about all I got for you today. I did have another truck here I built a while back. I've been wanting to build a truck like this for a long time. It's, kind of jacked up in the back a little bit. It's normal tires on the front. I can never find the right tires I wanted. These are not even quite the exact tires I wanted, but that's what I got. That's what we built. I'm not real happy with this truck. So this has just been sitting on the shelf, waiting for me to come up with something to do with it. And again, here's yet another tip, y'all. Take this one to heart. If you're painting and you're spray painting, especially spray painting, airbrushing is not quite so bad, but you still want to use the same tip when doing that. You want to be careful when you are spray painting. Do not spray paint near all of your cars. You can get overspray. I have a big window that I use, and I'll kind of hang my head out the window. It's not a smart idea, but I'm in a shed. It doesn't matter. And I'll hang my head out the window and I'll spray paint whatever I need out the window so my shed doesn't smell so much like spray paint. Why? Because I'm too lazy to get up. So what I did the other day is I was spraying and I wasn't paying attention, and this is one of my favorite trucks, guys. I built this truck. I was very, very, very happy with this truck. Now I'm all ticked off because you can see the overspray all over the hood and the roof. So I am very ticked off over what I did that day. It's probably on the windshield. Yeah, you can see it. It's even on the windshield. See little tiny green specks. So don't make that mistake, guys. Don't paint where your good cars are. Other than that, y'all, that's just about all I got today. I need mirrors. Anybody have any ideas on where I can get some mirrors? I cannot find any that I like. So if anybody's got any ideas or knows of where I can get some mirrors, please let me know in the comments. Y'all have a good day. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. That seems to be working. Hey, later.